Hello.
Welcome back to space.
Welcome back to improvisation in space.
Yes. So unfortunately, the out of sync bug that we encountered last week has not yet been fixed.
Or rather, we won't be able to get it up
Yeah.
because the build servers are... Basically,
things are
we
broken.
went home for the weekend and then the build servers decided to all break and it's still not sorted out. So we're having to improvise a bit, which means we're currently playing on a several days old and fairly buggy build.
Yes.
Just
hopefully on Thursday.
Hot cold code?
Yeah, the hot code.
I don't really know how old hot code.
Old hot code.
Heated over code.
It's like that. It's like that pit in Mexico, I think it is, that they burnt it in the 70s and it's still burning.
Yeah,
it's that hot.
I view it as heated over code. We put it in the microwave.
So, what we're going to do today is a little bit of Q&A. We're going to show off... we have a game in progress here.
This is just my own personal campaign I'm playing right now. It's like... I'm actually a few years longer in, but I have this save because I was debugging an AA issue.
Yeah.
So I decided I'll grab this and show off a little bit of the mid-game and how things tend to go.
Exactly. And you can ask questions, what you want to see, and we'll do our best to show off everything that you want to see.
Improvise.
And improvise, yeah. I think we should probably start with claims, how they work and such. You don't have a lot of influence, but maybe that...
I mean, I do have a lot of claims, because I actually just started a claim war on these elven jerks on my border.
Great.
So I have so this is me. I am fanatic spiritualist, authoritarian, imperial cult, corvée system.
Of course.
That's actually sort of one of the builds I like talking about. Although this time I'm going psionic, the kind of everyone in their place. My income is currently awful because my fleets are out maneuvering, and I pretty much decided to. I wanted to go to war with these guys, and I actually have a ton of claims on them.
Yeah.
And I wanted these guys to join, but they were like, "Nah, we don't want to fight right now." So I started the war with them basically being more or less equal to me, hoping that these guys would join in. In the end, I did win the war, but only not as much as I wanted to, because I was only able to take about this much before my war exhaustion came up. And there was a lot of battles, a lot of things going on. It was a very fun war, actually. Lots of maneuvering back and forth, bringing home my entire fleet to retool it so that I could be better against their fleet, and then watching my fleet to have 135% efficiency while they had 72. That was nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, that's what you do when you're a strategy player.
It was a very strategic war.
I just make more ships.
Yes.
That's how I play.
I mean, my economy can't support more ships.
No, you're already,
I am
16
paying
over
300 minerals a month in ship upkeep. Because, mineral ship upkeep has gone up just a little bit in this version.
Yeah, it's actually something that I've noticed is much more significant than it was before.
I'm over my naval capacity for some reason.
That doesn't help.
I wasn't previously, so something has changed. Oh yeah, and we have this fun bug that's already fixed. You don't have to mention it. You're gonna mention it anyway, but
I was gonna. No, I'm kidding. Since we're on the topic of war, and I think someone asked about it, the war screen is different.
Yes.
Very different.
The doggo is gone. There's a placeholder art. It's being worked on. It will be a nice art when it's done, but the doggo is gone. Goodbye, doggo.
Yeah, I have a funny anecdote for you in a few weeks. Hopefully, I will remember it. But yes, so we have a lot of different things going on here. That is new. Yeah.
So more or less, you have we have talked about this before, but war exhaustion is kind of your timer on the war, because I mean, it's sort of like war score, but not quite.
No. In
that it determines how likely how tired your empire is of the war. You get attrition, which just builds up over time. Then you get some space battle, ground battles, if you're occupied, etc. If you're at the 100%, you can be forced to status quo out, which is actually exactly what happened to me. I had to, I was more or less, I was over here, and I was like, I can strike at these worlds, but I won't have time to take them before my war exhaustion ticks up to 100%. So I had to settle for what I had taken.
Oh well.
And you have, you get a bunch from different sources. You have the different outcomes to the war, 3 different ones. You can do You can surrender, obviously.
Yeah, you can always surrender. That's great.
You have the achieve war goals, which they currently will absolutely not accept because
No.
I am claiming so much of their space that I don't actually control.
Yeah,
And they're like, no, we're not going to surrender our fortress systems to you because you asked nicely.
Exactly. And then status quo, which is
You get to keep...
very different white piece.
Yeah, you get to sort of keep what you hold at the moment, which is claimed.
Yeah.
So that's what ended up happening to me, is that, you know, despite having claims on all of this stuff, I
Yeah.
only ended up getting this stuff because it's what I could take and hold before the peace was signed.
Yes.
I did go into the war fairly well prepared in the sense that both points to them were locked down with my bastions, so...
Well, that's good.
Even when they were sort of beating me back for a while, they had difficulty counterattacking because, you know, my entry points were fortified.
And status quo will only give you things you have claims on, right?
Yeah, claims on and have occupied. And you need to fully occupy a system to get it. So if it's got both a starbase and a colony, it's not enough to take the starbase. You also have to take the colony.
I made both of those mistakes in my last campaign, where I was like, oh, but I'm occupying this. Okay, well, and then I was forced to status quo out. And I created horrible border because I had only claimed so much.
Taken the...
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. Actually, we proved that a little bit, so you can now see when a system is...
Yeah.
Like, I'll go ahead and show you. I didn't want to talk to you. I wanted to cheat. So I can now control the starbase. You can see this is occupied.
Yeah.
But if I only control the starbase and not the system, then you can see that there is no little spikes there.
No.
So it shows you this. When you have spikes, that means the system is fully occupied. I also want to make it clear somehow what's claimed, so you can see very easily what's going to be transferred in the piece.
Yeah.
But I'm still working on that.
Yes.
But yeah, one of the things I really, really like about this whole thing is that you get a sense of front lines.
Yeah.
So, you know, if your fleet has gone here, you can see this is controlled. You can sort of see where the war has gone. And it's like, I initially started by attacking along both lanes, and that didn't work so well. I got sort of beaten back, so then I sort of focused my attack here, and I had one fleet going here, one fleet going here.
Yeah.
The problem with that was after I rolled up these systems and I was going ahead, they actually snuck behind and started taking things back. So
it's usually what happens.
I did. So yes, all the people saying, no, you will always just keep all the fleets following each other. I have never had that happen in the war.
No, it
for a while, yes.
Yeah, of course.
Like when you, for instance, when I'm coordinating attack on a particular fortified system, I'll bring my fleets together.
Absolutely.
But if you keep them all together, they will just snipe back all the systems.
Yeah, no, it's like if we're gonna use an analogy for like EU4, you're not gonna carpet siege with your 55 stack.
No.
That's not gonna happen. So I just want to talk about the being forced out of a war due to work exhaustion. That is not a universal truth, right? Or is it?
I mean,
will that happen to every type of empire?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, you have the total war, but you can still be forced to peace when you have 100% war exhaustion.
All right.
I mean, the war exhaustion works a little bit differently there, but it's the same. The idea being that you have sort of a timer on wars. You can't just keep fighting a war forever and sit behind your lines and come in when it pleases you. You more or less have to, at some point, take some offensive operations if you want something. Right. And that actually makes a very big difference to the sort of rhythm and the way you fight wars, because it's a pretty generous timer. It takes a while for attrition to tick up, but you are on a timer.
Yep. All right. Then I withdraw my question. It's kind of weird playing things in development because things change over time, right? Yeah. So like my first Fanatical Purify game, I guess that feature wasn't implemented yet. So I hit 100% war exhaustion on both sides. I was like, okay.
No, actually, what you probably experienced is that there was a bug where the AI did not send a peace offer as status quo. Okay. So you could have been forced to peace, but the AI was like, actually, I'm not going to send this.
I mean, I was Fanatical Purify with Tomb World Civic, so all I did was just bomb them into oblivion.
Yeah, no, but they would have forced you out in the current version.
Yeah.
Bombing people into oblivion is a lot of fun, though. All right, some questions maybe?
How will war score affect endgame scenarios?
First of all, there is no war score anymore. There's war exhaustion. War exhaustion is not relevant to always aggressive, like...
No.
you're not at war exactly with the Scourge. You're not at war with the Marauders. You're just hostile to them. In that case, you don't have any war exhaustion.
They're the equivalent of space whales, just very powerful space whales. Well, we just talked about status quo, which is Stellaris' version of White Piece.
The question is about, because we talked about at one point about whether we should also add a White Piece option, but honestly, what it would add isn't enough for the confusion that it would introduce between status quo and White Piece. So we're not going to add White Piece in itself.
No. If you want a White Piece, then make sure you only hold you take back all your things and then White Piece.
We could add a button to just like flip back a starbase. You can control to the owner if you want to negotiate like a White Piece in multiplayer.
Yeah, that would actually be really cool. Return control, something.
Yeah. So I think I'll do that, but...
Yep. Will pacifists and fanatic pacifists receive a different amount of war exhaustion?
At the moment, there is no actual difference in who gets war exhaustion other than like the universal way the war works and the scaling of that, because we tried experimenting that, but it's kind of confusing. And it ends up being like... So right now, no. That may change in the future, but right now, no.
Is there ticking war exhaustion for taking the war goal / claim?
No, because again, if you have taken the claim, then that means the second you status quo, you will get to keep the claim.
Yeah.
So, and there is no war goal exactly. There is no one war goal.
No.
You're declaring war for the things you have claimed and or something else.
Yeah.
There is a different... the AI is differently willing to surrender depending on the war goal, though. Like, for instance, if you're demanding achieve war goals, then... and you have occupied all your war goals, the AI doesn't mind surrendering because there's no difference. Whereas you're demanding vassalization, you're probably going to have to occupy a significant part of their empire for them to surrender. You can't just take one claim and be like, you're my vassal now. And they're like, okay, then.
I saw A-Spec asking if the Swarm, or the Scourge rather, uses warp drives.
No, they use the hyperlanes. Everyone uses the hyperlanes.
Everyone uses hyperlanes.
The only exception is the jump drive, which might be in this version. Let me depend. I know it's in now, but
it's English keyboard. There we
go. English keyboard is the worst keyboard.
Yeah.
So let's see. No, it's not in this version. Damn it.
Well,
because this version is old.
Yeah.
Damn you, build server.
He also asked, let's see if I can remember the question now. Will there be something catering towards mods such as New Horizon, where they would want to use warp drive?
I mean, you can definitely mod the bypass system and the jump drive, like to be much more generally accessible. But honestly, I think the solution for things like New Horizons is more to just put hyperlanes everywhere, because you know, you can do that, and then you can hide the hyperlanes, and you will basically get something pretty similar to warp. The problem with keeping the mod support for the old systems is it would give us an untenable code base, because we'd have to support two systems in parallel. It create lots of bugs, lots of issues. It will also mean that a lot of the optimizations we have been able to do and like general improvements to pathfinding and so on wouldn't work, because we would still have to account for all those things. So it's... The way I also see it is, honestly, in Star Trek, you know, sure, they have warp drives, but they also have a sense of front lines, you know, when they have like Dominion war, it's not... oh, the Dominion just goes anywhere. You have these systems are the front line. This is the back. Occasionally you have like, oh, they made a raid behind the lines, but that's the exception, not the rule. So I honestly don't think the idea of fleets just moving around everywhere is as integral to Star Trek as people believe.
No. So it will be possible or viable to go to war over one system because it produces 10 minerals now.
Sure.
Yeah,
you can do that.
Just claim it.
And the AI will status quo pretty quickly after a few engagements.
Yeah, if you only have one thing claimed, especially if it's not any occupation or any worlds in it or any buildings or anything, you just want the minerals. Then
I mean, just go there, lock it down, and then sit on it until they give up.
Yeah,
more or less. Not going to take very long.
No. Will all hyperlanes be visible in the beginning? Yes.
Yes.
They are visible.
We may change at some point in the future, but it's one of those things where we don't want to change too many fundamental things at once. We kind of want to hold off because this is the sort of thing where we don't really know the knock-on effects, and we have changed a lot of big systems in 2.0. So
here we can see some border gore going on, which is inevitable with the new system. You have a hole in your empire. You have 2 holes in your empire.
I mean, this is not border gore. No, this is Stellar Devourer. This is just a hole. I mean,
it's just a hole.
It's showing. I mean, the idea with this, it shows that
actually it looks
this
like
area is cut off from the rest of my empire, so it actually kind of has a purpose.
Yeah, sure. No, absolutely. Just border gore is possible because people keep asking like, will there be border gore in Stellaris? Because it isn't as prevalent in the current release version, and it's not only possible, it's inevitable.
It's a little bit. I don't really characterize this as border gore.
Can systems with 0 hyperlink connections be spawned?
No, not by default.
Not by default. You could probably mod that in, though.
Yeah.
Is everything on the same plane? I mean, that hasn't changed, has it? It's still the same as it always was.
Yeah. It's a lot clearer which systems are actually in your borders now, though.
Yeah. I love the outline.
It could be like, is this in my borders? No, it's 1 pixel away.
Yeah. No, I love the outline. It's great. Will the AI understand the resource value of systems and have negative malice because of it?
What do you mean by negative malice?
I guess it's like... Yeah, I don't really understand the question. I should probably read the question.
You may want to redefine that question.
Yeah. Can we get systems/clusters only accessible by a wormhole? You can mod it if you want to.
Should be possible.
Yeah.
Not gonna promise it immediately.
No.
Because I haven't actually tested it, but I don't see a reason it's not possible.
Will the player have to auto-accept surrender proposals?
So, let's see. Yeah, if the AI surrenders, you have to accept the surrender. That is correct. Although, in most cases, the surrender is everything you could possibly take.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you do get access to a total of war when you have the Colossus. So if the question is, can people surrender to avoid having their planet destroyed? Yes, but they will game over and you will get all their territory. So that's not going to happen a lot.
The previous question was redefined. So if you claim a system, let's divide this question up in several layers. So if you put a claim on another empire, will they think negatively of you?
Yes, they will think negatively of you for having claims on
Yes. Will they think more negatively of you if you claim a system which has a planet in it or a ruined megastructure, something like that?
I'm not sure, actually. It's possible, but generally speaking, when 2 empires are claiming each other, it's not because they're friends of each other.
I mean, I do. I hope that answers your question. He also asked about minerals and whatever, but I think megastructures is a good point. Can spaceport modules now be disassembled?
There is no spaceport modules.
Spaceports
are fully integrated parts of the planet now.
Yeah.
And they don't have modules, they just have...
Yeah.
That's just where you build your civilian ships.
But we have star bases now.
Yes. And starbase modules can, in fact, be dismantled.
Yes.
I just did it.
Are there any upcoming tweaks to first contact with AI?
I should just point this out.
Okay.
AI playing one planet challenge.
Oh yeah. I've actually noticed, so this is a personal anecdote, but I've noticed that when I play, I colonize a lot less now. I usually only go with like 3 planets.
Honestly, that's probably not a good idea.
No, but it's the way I play now.
Because the penalty for planets isn't bad now. But it's more like you don't have to.
No.
But it's generally a good idea.
What's the...
but yeah, the AI here is, they have the Gaia world, the...
Oh, okay.
What's it called? The Life-Seeded Civic, so they haven't yet gotten enough tech to colonize anything else.
Nice.
And yes. And this is what I think they have it in this. Yeah, this is what I was showing off earlier. Where the AI was like, I have Marauders here.
Yeah.
I have Marauders here.
I'm going to build a
defense
station
here.
Yeah. What does the Bastion, Trading Hub, etc. stand for regarding star bases?
Oh, it's basically what the role is, and it's determined by what you build on them. So, like, the Bastion means that this is a defensive installation. It's got it's got more defensive modules than other kind of modules, sort of deal. Trading hub means, it's got more trading, etc. It's an easy way to see how you have specialized the starbase. Like, for instance,
anchorage is where you get all your things
yeah,
from.
if I were to dismantle all these anchorages, then it would just stop and just become a regular starbase because I haven't specialized it yet. And then if I were to, put shipyards here instead, now it becomes a shipyard, etc.
There you go.
Now it's a bastion. It's sort of dynamic. It's the same deal as the systems, where it shows you sort of the role of the system. It's mostly just fluff, but it makes an easy way to tell what is this for.
I don't know if I assume you know this, but I don't know if it's been decided. Will there be a beta of 2.0?
No.
There won't be.
We do not generally open beta, first of all, big expansion updates, for the single reason that we can't really beta the expansion content.
No.
And the other reason is that people think open betas is like magic pill for all the problems. Yeah. They are not. They actually, whenever we have an open beta, we basically lose all our internal QA because it's all spent sorting through the massive volume of few high quality, but very, 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 very many low quality reports we get.
And crash reports.
The unfortunate is that the general public is not as good at QA. It's good for catching hardware issues. Okay, this is an issue that we didn't experience because it's on hardware, or this is an issue we didn't experience because it took 10,000 hours of play, or just common problems that you always get after 100 years of play. That sort of deal. It catches certain things, but it's not a replacement for actual QA.
Yeah. So
we do have an internal beta, though. We do have an internal beta with internal beta testers that also help out.
Going back to the starbases, what if I were to build a starbase which had... Actually, what if I did one of these and this? What does it call it then? Still Bastion.
Yeah, there's a priority order if you have a same amount, more or less. It calculates a score, and then it takes the one with the highest score.
There you go.
Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold.
Yeah. The researches or ethics that give you border range, they are changed.
Everything that used to give you border range has been changed. So to give and it's not been changed, in an exact same manner. No. Many of them have given influence costs, Stellar Dominion used to give border range. It now reduces starbase influence cost and claim influence cost.
Yep.
It should be the same deal with Xenophobe. Xenophobe is super strong for early expansion because Fanatic Xenophobe gives you minus 40% starbase influence cost.
Fantastic.
So it's almost halved, meaning that Xenophobes can rapidly expand in the early game.
Yep. If you're playing with mods like any mod, you're probably gonna want to wait.
All mods will need updating. Yeah, pretty much.
It's gonna be some significant updates going on.
Maybe the more colors mod will be fine.
Yeah, but probably. The flag mods, maybe.
All right, so that's a good question. What math decides which kind of how many star bases? So first of all, it's not how many star bases you can build, it's how many star bases you can upgrade. Yeah. You can have any amount of outposts, just they don't count. They just give you increased tech and unity costs, so you might not always want to expand. But for instance, I choose when I came up here, I could have gone further, but I chose to stop here because the systems there weren't that good, and this was a nice defensive line upwards.
Yep.
But yeah, this is the math. So you get them, a larger amount of it comes from tech, it comes from Ascension perks, it comes from traditions, and Galactic Ambitions and Galactic Ambition. Those are, one of those should probably be named something else. You also get some from pops, and you get some from the amount of systems you own.
All right. Very nice. Is there still a war peace after a war?
Truce?
A truce after a war?
There is a truce, yes.
Would be kind of pointless.
Otherwise, what would be the point of war exhaustion for anything?
Exactly.
Not every war should be to the end.
How will the war in heaven be affected by war exhaustion?
So the war in heaven is a special kind of war where it's basically a completely total war where anything you occupy is immediately yours.
Okay.
So it's a very good opportunity joining on either side to grab territory. It's still got war exhaustion between the primary participants, but it accumulates extremely slowly from everything. So the war in heaven can actually end in a status quo peace now. It's more likely to end with one side being destroyed.
All right. There we go. This isn't a question, but I like what you've done with the new borders. Well done.
They are very nice.
Yeah.
It's very nice to actually be able to see what's in your empire.
Yeah. Is there any like federation or unions going on in this game?
No, not. There is actually a federation. I'm not sure if it's formed yet. Yeah, no, it formed a little bit later. The spiritual seekers here and the spiritual seekers there got together in their hippie federation.
Can we force someone into a vassalage just to show off union's map mode?
I'm not sure the union's map mode actually works right now.
Okay. Because it did earlier.
Yeah, it's been bugged. We're gonna fix it for release, obviously. But
what I wanted to show off is that it's super easy to see what is mine and what is my friend next door's now, despite you being the same general color because of the outlines.
Yeah, even if you have the same exact color, you can see it.
Like that. That's pretty much
similar.
Yeah, that's very.
I mean, these guys are always white.
Yeah. But the guy next door is also white.
But yeah, it's not hard to see that. And yes, we'll probably add more colors, probably not for 2.0. It's one of those things where we actually want to take our time and add good color combinations and so on, and there's not been that much room to add even more stuff on 2.0 because we've had a lot to do.
Yeah. So when you claim a planet, Detective Foley, please rewrite your question because I don't understand it. Does war exhaustion affect income?
No.
It only affects
war
the
exhaustion doesn't have any actual effect on your empire. It's more like, honestly, being at war is bad enough for your income. It's not really needed. War exhaustion is really just meant to show how long can you keep this war going. It's your timer on when this war will end, and also on when you can sort of force the enemy into ending it.
I'm gonna change the Intel G's question here. Will any of the endgame crises have world-destroying weapons? No,
not at the moment. It's sort of like they already kind of destroy planets.
Yeah, well, yeah, actually, the Scourge does, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, no, but okay, sure. They
don't destroy them, but
the Scourge turns them barren, the Unbidden turns them barren, and the Contingency takes them over.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they kind of do already. It might be nice to add like a super ship for them in the future, but it wasn't really in the scope of this expansion.
No. Is there any way to counter war exhaustion?
Okay. Actually, someone has... Can you show off a peace deal with AI participants?
All right.
Tell you what. What I will do is this. I will turn on Yes Man. I will turn on AI. And then I will settle status quo. And then I will switch to these guys. Oh, wait. Yes Man will not. They will not actually accept that.
Oh. Let's see.
Let's get your war exhaustion up a bit here. I take that. I take that. No, not control.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's what it shows. And even when it's a third-party war, it basically shows the same information. So you would be able to see in a peace deal between the Holy Terran Empire, even if you were not one of those empires, you would be able to see exactly what happened at the end of the war. So you can actually see precisely how wars between third parties ended.
There we go. Have you seen the fan trailers?
And now you can see that the status quo ended with me taking the stuff I had fully occupied, but this, because I had not fully occupied it, they got it back.
Yeah, perfect. Is the war screen moddable so we can get the "this is fine" screen back?
Yes, you can put the doggo there. You can make a doggo mod.
Oh, Eklund,
No.
please.
I think someone wants me to showcase the jump gates.
Yep.
I expect. I assume you mean the gateways.
Yeah, or the mega structure.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Because I cannot show jump drives because they're not in this version, despite being done several days ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the finished gateway, and this has activated another gateway. So I shall take my glorious construction ship here,
Of course.
or I shall miss clicking on it. And so it's actually been connected to an unknown system that we haven't explored yet. Because what happens is the first time you activate any gateway in the galaxy, like the very first gateway to be activated, automatically activates one other random gateway. So there's never just one active gateway.
No. See where it ended up. Well, he hasn't left yet.
It might have bugged.
Oh, great. This is hot code, guys.
It's good times. Tell you what, I will do this.
Okay. Let's build a gateway.
Yes, let's build a second gateway. Upgrade.
There we go. Yay!
Yeah, there was probably what's happened is that the other gateway is in a is in some closed border somewhere.
Yeah,
and
okay.
Probably like in a Xenophobe, Fallen Empire, similar, and the game doesn't really know how to handle that yet.
Yeah. And then you can choose which way you go.
Oi. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much you go to the gateway, you enter, you instantly come out on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Can Colossi destroy / contain gateways?
No.
You need to make sure that you build up a strong base in that system then.
Like, megastructure destruction was one of the things that you can smash ring worlds, but megastructure destruction was one of those things that was on the would be nice list, but we did not end up have time for. We'll probably add it in the future. I'd like to add star destruction at some point too as well.
No, gateways are not always paired, going only between two specific systems. As if you looked closely.
Yeah, the difference between gateways and wormholes is every gateway leads to every gateway.
Yep.
But the enemies cannot use your gateway. So if you are hostile to the person controlling the system with the gateway in, you can't go through it.
No.
So meaning that you cannot. If I went to war with the guys who have the other gateway over there, they could not come into my systems.
No.
Via that, unless they first, jump drive in and seize the gateway and then use it as a point to enter the system, which is a pretty good use for jump drives.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you still kind of want to defend your gateways.
Yeah, whereas wormholes are the opposite way.
Are a very fixed point. So let's see if I can find. I don't actually have any wormholes in my space. These guys do. So your space is now my space, and your fleet is now my fleet.
Yay.
Elite strategies.
Yeah. So we need a science ship here.
Yes. And
instant travel.
Oh god, that doesn't work. Tell you what, I'm having your science ship. There we go.
So you explored the wormhole.
Yes.
And you end up in another place, and that's where we are.
We ended up over here, and this wormhole only leads to the other wormhole.
Yeah.
So it doesn't lead to any other wormhole. You can go back and forth, Oh, I would like to go home.
Yeah.
And then I'm click here, and it's gonna automatically path.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Oh, wait, is it following? Oh, okay. It's actually found the other gateway.
Okay, so that's faster. Great.
Yes. I was wondering why I was doing that. But, okay, so you want to go here instead.
Yeah.
Now it goes through the gateway.
Okay, let's see. There he is. Way. But wormholes can be used. Okay, but wormholes can be used while you are hostile to another.
Yes, wormholes you kind of have to defend.
Yeah.
There, you can't control who goes through a wormhole. So what you generally want to do is exactly what the AI did here, was build a fortress on the wormhole and surround it with defense platforms, because if you don't, someone might come down in and wreak havoc inside your borders.
Is there any way to see on the map how wormholes are connected?
At the moment, no. What we're planning to add is to make it so that you hover this and you will see a movement line to the other wormhole. The thing is, we tried having just a movement line the entire time, but it's really disruptive.
No,
it gets very confusing to view, so we want to do it sort of more on demand. Also, clicking this should move to the other wormhole so you can quickly see where it's going.
That sounds like a really good idea. Can we surround the wormhole with self-replicating mines? No. Let's see. Does the spoiler civic give any bonuses to pirate/marauder interactions?
No.
No. What about galactic terrain modifiers? I don't think we've talked about that much on stream.
Sure, there's a few. So you obviously have the nebulas, which block all sense of view. So it'd be useful for like putting a star base, like a fortress that the enemy won't know is a fortress.
Yeah.
Or just hiding a fleet, or generally preparing nasty surprises. You have pulsars. Pulsars completely disable all shields in the system, so you can see the starbase has no shields.
Yeah.
Which means you can build some really, really nasty defenses around them if you know what you're doing. If you just like put plasma on everything.
Yeah.
Because plasma, I mean, I don't have any right now, but here. Plasma is the death of everything but shields, but horrible against shields.
So that's pretty fantastic then.
So yeah, pulsars you can very much use to your advantage. You get neutron stars. There's a neutron star. Neutron stars slow everyone in the system, which means that you can sort of use them as put a lot of like artillery, slow the enemy down, make them take damage, or just as a keep the enemy taking a while to go through the system.
Yeah.
And you have black holes.
There.
So black holes reduce disengagement chance and emergency FTL like cooldown, which means basically any engagement in a black hole is going to be deadlier.
Yeah.
So they are really good places if you just want to inflict maximum possible casualties on the enemy.
Fantastic. Is there any performance improvements? Yes, always.
And yes, you just saw it for flak level. We made flak pretty much parallel to
everything else.
No, to point defense.
Oh, sorry.
So
yep.
This is like energy point defense, which is good against missiles. This is kinetic point defense, which is good against drycraft. Both can be used against the other, but not optimal for it.
All right. People making funny jokes in chat. Are there any changes to border friction?
Yes, border friction now only comes from actual bordering systems. So
there we go.
You know, it's basically how many hyperlink connections do you have to them, / like bypass connections. So I have, for instance, 120 border friction with these guys because they don't like having me on the border.
No.
It's also, you can see here I have a Xenophobe Fallen Empire. They only get upset if you settle the exact bordering system.
Yeah.
So they're fine with touching borders, just I need to stay out of here and here.
Yeah.
Which also means I have a nice little pirate breeding ground here.
No.
Because I can't really do anything about that.
That's
so
awful.
I built a fortress to deal with any pirates that come storming out of that space.
It's a pretty good idea, actually. Can we disable gateways completely? I don't trust them after Mass Effect.
You can. You can turn off wormholes. You can. So we have a bunch of new Galactic settings, like you can turn them down to 0. That's wormholes, but yeah. You can turn them up to everything. Everything.
Oh God.
It's like if anyone thinks that in a maximum slider setting you will actually be impaired in where you go, they don't know what they're talking about. I'm sorry, but this is not restricted movement.
No.
If you're concerned about not being able to go anywhere in space, just turn the sliders up.
There we go.
Yeah. It's
There's,
like, wormhole, gateway, gateway. Yeah, gateway, gateway, wormhole.
No, it sounds great.
Or we can do the absolute opposite.
Turn down everything, yeah. This is the
no bypasses and minimum amount of hyperlane connections.
the xenophobe wet dream right here. It's like so many choke points.
Yeah, I just want to live on this little spindly arm.
Yeah. It's fantastic. There's one question. Are there any treaties that lessen the effect of border frictions?
Treaties, no, but you can be a xenophile. That's actually one of the big advantages of being a xenophile, is that they get much less border friction.
Yep. Let's see. What can you get claims on Empire's the only border via wormhole/gateway?
Yeah, I mean, there is no real restriction on what you can claim, other than it costs more the further you are away.
Yep.
And as far as considering being far away, any bypass you can use is considered as no distance. So if you have a wormhole connecting to an Empire, it will cost a lot to claim them until you have explored and be able to use the wormhole, and then it will be cheap to claim on the other side, because then it will be close.
Yeah, fantastic. So you can have a little colony over there. Have fun with that. Let's see. We've already answered whether the crisis uses Colossuses.
Fallen Empires do, though.
Fallen Empires do.
And Awakened Empires.
Nice.
Although only if you have Apocalypse. So Fallen Empires will actually sometimes spawn with a Colossus.
Oh.
And they will use that Colossus on you if you make them mad. If you don't surrender. It's like, I was talking to that, and then like QA was like, but what if the player doesn't surrender? And I'm like, well, then you die.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like you anger the Fallen Empire. They have a Colossus that's about to blow up your homeworld. If you don't at that point click the surrender button, then I'm sorry, your Empire wins a Darwin Award.
And yes, 2.0 comes out the same day as Apocalypse. They kind of go hand in hand.
Yes,
that's how it works. I think we've done pretty well with answering questions and showing off new things today.
Sure.
So I want to thank everyone for asking very good questions. Well, maybe not everyone, but hopefully we will be back next week with Orcs versus Dwarves.
Yes.
And we'll have a grand old time not next week, Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday, yeah.
I forgot it wasn't Thursday today. Damn it. I was like, oh, nice, Friday tomorrow.
No, Tuesday tomorrow. That's a good day too, though.
It's a good day. I mean, working at Paradox every day is a good day. Just in case Fred Wester is watching. Anyway, goodbye.
See you.